Welcome back, everybody, to another episode here of Just Dolan. Last time on Higurashi, When They Cry, Ch.1 Onikakushi Hen, some interesting stuff happened. Let's just put it that way. Some interesting stuff has happened. And I know it's been a little bit. That's because we took a week's hiatus because time crunch. But we're back. And now that we're back, it's going to be great. So let's just jump right in and get to it. I'm excited to be playing this game again. It's been a little over a week since I've recorded now, I think. It's crazy. Tap, tap, tap. I thought hitting space would advance the text and save me time while I took a swig of water. Just gets rid of it. The sound of muffled footsteps stopped in front of the door to my room. A moment of silence, as if whomever they belonged to was ascertaining if I was inside. Whoops. It wouldn't be a Just Dolan if I didn't accidentally do this the entire time. Of all the things I should have been doing, I continued on with my restless slumber. I was very much conscious, but my body hadn't caught up yet. Even with danger bearing down on me from just beyond the door, it was as if I was completely paralyzed, unable to move. Without a doubt, this was sheer terror. Please, just leave. Hey, why isn't my body awake yet? If they came into my room right now, then... I sprung to my feet and threw my covers at my mom, who was opening the door. Whoa! Keiichi, what's the matter? Sorry. I was still half asleep. I thought it was still 1 or 2 a.m., but the morning sun was already streaming through the gap between the curtains. It felt nothing like morning. Yesterday, I must have fallen asleep right after that. Then I should have gotten a full 10 hours of rest, but it didn't feel like that at all. My internal clock was completely screwed up and my sense of balance felt off. I felt feverish, enough that it was clear to me that I was still not well. Well, Keiichi, how are you feeling? Can you make it to school? I felt far from well enough. No, I wasn't mentally fit to go. I was still plagued with the terror from yesterday. If I had swallowed that needle, what would have happened? Or what if it pierced my tongue? There was undoubtedly a murderous intent, but I still don't think that's all it was. If they really wanted to kill me, then there were other, more certain ways to go about it. They wouldn't resort to such a dubious method as having me swallow a needle. Meaning, I didn't want to believe it, but going that far was just a threat from Rena and Mion. Aren't you glad you didn't die? But next time we'll use a more assured method. Like that. Something like sending a letter with a razor inside would have been a joke compared to this. Did you make it to the hospital? Did you take your medicine? Yeah, kinda. Something about my mom's dubious gaze bothered me. She seemed more concerned about her son missing 2 days of school rather than him being sick. It's definitely mental fatigue. I wasn't really physically ill. It'd be hard for you to get back on track once your daily routine is thrown off. Come on, get up. They say wellness is a state of mind. I'd heard that line many times before. I was given an award in elementary school for having perfect attendance. But it wasn't like I was healthier than everyone. Come on, go wash your face. Breakfast is already ready. There isn't much time before Rena-chan comes and gets you. Mom's tone meant that I couldn't argue about it, so I had to give up on skipping a second day. By the way, were you the one who got bean paste all over the living room wall, Keiichi? You shouldn't do something like that. Your father was quite angry. I didn't feel particularly guilty for doing it, so I didn't have much of a reaction. Also, Mom didn't question me any further about it. Why? I feel like that would be so strange that I would question further about it if I was her. She headed back downstairs after she was certain I was getting up. What Mion said as she left yesterday. I'd hate it if you missed school tomorrow. Came back and dwelled in the back of my head. What did she mean by that? I didn't even have to really think about it. She was saying, don't be absent. Taking that a bit further, it was the same as her saying I should just go about living my life as if nothing happened. If I showed any signs of acting unusual, it would probably result in them making their move. I apologize if any hammering noise gets caught on my microphone, by the way, because my landlord feels like it's a good idea to take it upon himself to do all of the work in my neighbor's apartment on his own after she moved out instead of hiring someone to do it. And for 3 months he's been in there every day with jackhammers and saws and hammers and shit, making my life miserable. And if it gets picked up on the mic, I just want to apologize. Hopefully it won't. If it doesn't, and this is super random, then sorry. I needed to vent somewhere. It's really starting to piss me off. If I acted differently, someone like Oishi-san, for example, might end up noticing that something is up. Meaning if I didn't watch my mouth or did anything differently from the norm, in effect, it would end up communicating something to those who were undesirable. And it seems that was something the girls didn't intend to forgive. So if I just went along as normal, no harm would come to me. Was that how it was going to be? All that misery I experienced up until yesterday would almost creepily just fade away. It was an enticing deal. Just by forgetting everything I'd seen or heard these last few days, I'd be able to keep living on like normal. There's no way such a selfish thing could. I swallowed hard. I once again deliberated on the idea that I had just rejected. Mion was probably a good person who had her friends at heart. She was giving me, who had mistakenly broken some rule of theirs, a chance. Was what I did really something so unforgivable? I mean, no, Keiichi, it's not. But Mion had given me another chance. She was saying if I just forget everything and kept living on like I had been, I'd be forgiven. Keiichi, your food is going to get cold. Hurry up and get down here. Rena will be here if you don't hurry. I'm coming. I crammed my textbooks into my bag and hastily made my way downstairs. I picked at my somewhat bland breakfast. It seemed that I didn't have much time. It was already past when I usually met up with Rena. Given yesterday's events, she'd probably be here in the next few minutes. I needed to be ready to head to school by then. I had to forget everything that had happened the past 2 days. Forget it all and return to my normal life. For this to be normal, I'll have to be where I normally meet up with Rena. Today of all days, the rice was dry and hard to get down. I jumped at the sound and dropped my chopsticks. That chime signaled that Rena had arrived. Mom hurried me along. Come on, Rena-chan's already here. Hurry, hurry. My mother's merry smile and my gloomy face were polar opposites. I don't know what I would do in his situation, to be honest. I like talking shit, so I keep giving him sass. Like, backseat living sass. But, I don't know. I really don't know what I would do. Honestly, I was reluctant to see Rena, who was waiting there on the other side of the door. The Rena on the other side, was it the Rena that I knew? I couldn't keep her waiting. I needed to do things as usual. Morning! An invigorating greeting filtered from across the doorway. I came since Keiichi-kun was a bit late. Will he be okay today, I wonder? The manner in which Rena was concerned was, without a doubt, the Rena that I knew. But that was probably only if I reciprocated. Forget everything from yesterday. Pretend as though nothing had happened. Forget about the gruesome dismemberment. Forget about the mysterious deaths that happened the following years. Forget about the people falling to their death, and the terminal illness and suicide, the fatal beatings and disappearances. Forget it. Forget all of it. Forget that Rena and Mion were scary as fuck. Forget it all. Forget about all of it. Forget about the mochi, too. Forget. Yeah, we get it. Rena once again asked me to make sure. Can you make it to school? Yeah, I'm fine. Great. Then let's go. Mi-chan is waiting. Rena showed me her usual bright smile. I couldn't find any hint of deceit in her expression. My nervousness dissipated, giving way to relief. The way the music stopped and the way he was like, I feel relieved. I thought it was going to be like, by the way, Keiichi. And just like do one of those ass pulls. But you see, Satoko-chan was so insistent that she could do it. As we were walking, Rena talked about a lot of different stuff. More so than usual. Then? Satoko-chan is clumsy, so she failed no matter how many times she tried. Ah, she was so cute. Everything Rena talked about was just silly nonsense. So I just replied every so often and laughed from time to time. It was a rather laid-back conversation. We passed by one of our neighbors and they called out to us. Oh my, Keiichi-chan and Rena-chan, aren't you two a bit late today? Mion-chan said she was going on ahead. Did Mi-chan look mad, I wonder? I wonder, Infinity. We need to hurry up, Keiichi-kun. After greeting our neighbor with a smile, Rena turned back to me and poked her tongue out. Not expecting that, I couldn't help but crack a smile. Ah, Keiichi-kun smiled. What? Rena stopped and stared at me. I was thinking that you still hadn't recovered from your cold since you seemed down this morning. But now you seem fine. Fine. With a grin, she gently poked my cheek. It was a bright, sincere smile. Hey, Keiichi Maebara. How could you still doubt Rena after she shows you a smile like that? I don't know. Maybe because she, threatened my very life the night before. Dead seriously. Put a fucking needle in my food. Maybe I just had a high fever up until today and I imagined everything that I thought happened because I was bedridden and delirious. Really hoped that was the case. Yeah, well... Oh my god. If God would grant me just one wish, there's only one thing that I'd wish for. I would want what had happened in the past few days, more specifically from the night of the Watanagashi up until now, or up until last night. I wanted all of that to have never happened. I wonder how many times I'd wished for this these past few days. As long as Rena kept on smiling like this, I think it might just become reality. So I wanted Rena to keep smiling. Keep on believing. Keep on smiling. So, Keiichi-kun. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it! Okay, so I hate to admit it, but that scared the shit out of me. And let me tell you why. I kept saying I knew it, and I was like shaking my head, and I looked at my second monitor to check the time of the recording to see how far we were. And I was like, I knew it would happen. I didn't think it would take this long, but I knew it would happen. And then in the corner of my eye, I just saw the color palette swap and heard the noise, and my heart sank. And I was like, what's happening? And I looked back over, and it was just a color palette swap, and I was just like, shouldn't have startled me. I don't know why that startled me, but it did. The mochi yesterday, did you eat them all? That vain wish of mine was instantly shattered. Very predictably so. My heart began palpitating. The relaxed morning mood suddenly became frigid. Rena's smile was the same as usual. Her eyes were gentle as usual. There was mochi yesterday. Did you eat them all? Of course she wasn't asking the question at face value. In other words, Rena was asking, did you get the message? She was probably trying to convey that. See, I think in this scenario, right here, if I was Keiichi, I would say, yeah, I really enjoyed the way the needle felt when it poked me in the tongue. I think that's what I would have said. Or in the back of the throat or wherever it poked him. I'd say something very specific like that. Like to see what she would say. Because that's a very good way to check if you were delirious the night before. Just get them to say it. But I bet you $1 million. I bet you $1 million Keiichi is just going to passively avoid saying anything that has any regard to detail of what happened so that she can't respond properly. And then he's going to continue questioning himself and say, oh, I was delirious the night before, blah, 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 for the next 2 hours. Fucking guarantee that's what's going to happen. Keiichi-kun? I was reluctant to give an answer. Rena stopped walking and stared deeply into my eyes. Don't hesitate, Kichi Maibara. Rena was acting the same as always, wasn't she? I needed to respond in my usual way. Naturally, of course. But both my throat and mouth had gone dry and my lips were stuck together. Hurry and answer, Keiichi. Not that much time had passed. I could still keep the conversation going naturally. I had to say something quickly, but I didn't because I suck. Duh. Deh. Deh. Deh? Rena playfully mimicked what I said when I finally squeaked something out. Rena's reaction was still normal. It seems that there wasn't as long a pause as I had thought. Somehow I finally squeaked out the rest. Delicious. However, my strained efforts neither sullied nor brightened Rena's expression. For a moment I panicked, thinking I had replied incorrectly. But after a few moments, Rena broke into her usual soft smile and giggled with a joyful voice that seemed to echo through the morning air. Or you know what a really smart thing would have been to say there? If he was like, actually, I wasn't feeling so good, so I didn't eat any of them. I left them on the counter. Mom and Dad said that they were going to eat them later for lunch. That's what I would have said if I was him. Because then, if she was like, what? Then she would have to run over to his house, make an excuse to go inside, get them somehow, sneak them out, ask them to throw them away, something or other. She'd have to do something. Right? That would be a good way to, that would be the smart thing to do. That wouldn't have been my first reaction, though. My first reaction would have been to be blunt and upfront about it. Oh well. Keiichi and I apparently are way too quick with our inner thoughts. But after a moment, Rena broke into her usual soft smile and giggled with a joyful voice that seemed to echo through the morning air. I think I read that already, but oh well. Being strung along by that laugh, I couldn't help but laugh as well. Ah ha 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 ha. Cue the Titus. I see. So did you eat all of them? I wonder. Okay, Keiichi, round 2! My timid smile froze again. Did you make it without swallowing the sewing needle? Was that what she was asking? If I had swallowed it, then I wouldn't be here. No, I couldn't finish all of them. There's still some left. I'm scared out of my wits, but that's how I played it. Huh? What about the homework to see if you could tell which one Rena made? That homework, was it due today? Yeah, it's due today. Michan will get angry. It's probably a penalty game ready for you. It would appear that she doesn't give a fuck about his mother or father either, because they could totally eat it mistakenly. We both laughed at each other again. To a casual observer, it was a typical morning. If I could just let myself believe, then even I'd think that was just the usual morning routine. But I was certain I wasn't mistaken. There was something unimaginable buried beneath the facade of this giggling Rena. Lies! I recalled that sudden, unexpected, piercing voice that I could hardly believe came from her mouth. The moment that image crossed my mind, I felt a cold sweat trickle down my back. Usoda! You soda! Was it only that particular time that something evil had possessed Rena? No, that was wrong. That was still Rena. Oyashiro-sama told me, didn't he? Actually, I looked into it before Ryugu-san moved away to Hinamizawa. She was suspended from school, you see. I wonder. It seems she went through her school building and broke out all the windows. Yeah. Oh, hi. How's it going, Ryugu-san? Rena had a disorder that normal people didn't. No matter how pleasantly she smiled, that fact would not change. But I couldn't even imagine how she looked as she broke all the glass throughout the school. One thing I knew was that it wasn't something spur of the moment. If it was some sudden outburst of anger, then maybe she'd break a pane or two. But she broke all of them in the school. Just imagine going through your school breaking the windows with a bat. One by one. True. Ooh. I like that art. Even if it's at a weird angle. Swinging full force at each pane of glass one after the other, paying no heed to the flying shards. I'm not gonna lie, she looks better in this school outfit than the one she usually wears. Even if she looks pissed and is currently smashing all the windows. Her classmates aghast, unable to move from the sudden turn of events. I wonder where she could have found the most windows lined up in a row. Probably the hallway. Smash, block, wind up, smash, block, wind up. It's difficult for me to connect that horrifying image with Rena smiling at me right now. But I just had to imagine it. You know, Keiichi, maybe she was part of some weird game club and lost the game, and then her penalty was you have to smash out all the windows in the school with a bat. She seems pretty agreeable. Like maybe she just did it for fun. You don't know. You weren't there. Impossible because it was unimaginable. That naive way of thinking no longer worked. The unpleasant, piercing sound of shattered glass, the crunching noise, as Rena treads across the broken shards walking towards me. Rena's classmates going pale as they forgot to even breathe. I wondered what they did as Rena came closer, breaking windows along her path. Did they earnestly try to bring her to her senses by saying something? Did they jump at her, trying to stop her savagery? Did they run to the staff room to call for the teachers? Probably none of those things. See, if it was me, I would wait, I would time it, so that right as she was swinging the bat, I would sprint at her and then sprint past her and then leave. Just leave the building. Fuck it, I'm out. Bye! Because if you time it right, then what the fuck is she gonna do? Right? She can't stop you. I don't know, that's what I would have done. Just be like, bitch, I'm out. Fuck this noise. Probably none of those. In the face of that blood-curdling sight, of Rena busting window after window, undoubtedly, all they could do was silently clear a path for her. No, not undoubtedly, Keiichi. I'm not being facetious or anything here. I described precisely what I would have done. 100%. Dumbfounded, just clearing the path for Rena to continue. It'd be cruel to blame anyone for looking the other way. No, they weren't simply looking the other way. They knew it was the only way they could protect themselves. If they had done something differently from the rest, then they may have suddenly found themselves as the new target. No. Nah, I would have done my thing. I don't care. Fuck her. I mean, look at Rena, alright? I understand she has a bat. But all you have to do is play it smart. She's not very big. She's not very strong. Like, I don't know. What would Rena have done to whoever attracted her attention? The answer was obvious. she would have undoubtedly acted according to her whims. Meaning I would be the next window. Rena staring into my eyes, shards of glass crunching and crackling underfoot as she drew closer. I was also drawn into her eyes, paralyzed. And she struck me with the bat over and over again like I was one of the windows. I crouched down onto the floor, desperately protecting my head. Rena didn't care whether it was my head or my back. Zealously, she hits me again and again. And again and again and again and again and again and again. What kind of expression was she making as she was doing this over and over? I peered up to see. Her expression was so indifferent. It was completely unnerving. It's because no matter how many times she struck, it didn't make as pleasant a sound as the other windows. I think you might be one of those people who gets so lost in thought, Keiichi, that all you do is make things worse and worry about things that haven't happened. And just take things that did happen and try to give them new meaning. That is the kind of person you are. That is unhealthy as fuck, dude. You need to work on that. She struck me continuously, over and over and over and over and over times infinity. The sound Rena didn't come out. Our classmates standing around didn't try to stop her. They didn't want to be the next window, even though there was like 100 of them. Somebody save me, nah. Turning a blind eye unless we're hanging out. Yo. Big fucking mood. But of course, everyone in class scrambled to obtain the highest standardized test scores. They'd gain nothing from saving a cram school tryhard like me. Big fucking mood. Eventually, there would be a faint sound similar to when you crack open a walnut, and some sort of reddish-black spray would shoot out. Anyway, it wasn't that Rena momentarily lost herself in her anger. After forcing myself to breathe and calming down my heart, I recalled what Oishi-san told me. And in the council's medical report, he recorded all the conversations he had with Rena-san. It shows up. Quite a bit at that. What does? She mentioned. The word Oyashiro-sama. Cue the disconcerting, weird, fucking, wind-up toy noise. Fucking music box ass creepy noise. The stock music box creepy noise. Following that, Rena was suspended and had regular examinations at the hospital. Then, as she was undergoing counseling, she said it over and over, Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama. It seems that Oyashiro-sama she spoke of was like a ghost appearing in her house every night. Standing over a pillow looking down at her. It's really good we have this recap. It's not like we read this like an episode or two ago. That was only a piece of the conversation, so I still couldn't see a big picture, but it was by no means happy. Then what Rena did, was she saying that ghastly incident was a result of her being possessed by Oyashiro-sama? Up until now, I didn't believe in his curse. That's why I wanted to say the mysterious deaths every year happened because of some sort of conspiracy. Every time I talked with Oishi-san, I was more certain that the deaths were the work of men and not some curse, except if it was people perpetrating the incidents, my friends were somehow deeply connected. If I had refused to believe the curse was real, then I would have to believe those who attacked the kindest to me were deeply involved in the incidents. Why? How? For what reason? It was Rena. It was everybody. It was much more painful and troublesome than accepting that it was just Oyashiro-sama's curse. In the aftermath, Rena had admitted to her doctor that it was because she was possessed by him. I felt a strange sense of relief from that, so that's how it was. There wasn't a second side to Rena. She did that because she was possessed by something strange like Oyashiro-sama. Yes, believe in the supernatural for no reason. It couldn't possibly be that she's a psychopath. That's not possible. It has to be a curse. Absolutely, 100%. It wasn't Rena's fault. Oyashiro-sama was the one to blame. 100%, Keiichi, you're the smartest person I've ever seen. I knew this was all backwards. Refusing to believe there was a curse, I wanted there to be a human perpetrator. Now that my close friends were the ones under suspicion, I changed my beliefs at my own convenience, saying it was Oyashiro's comment. Blah, blah, blah. saying that it was Oyashiro-sama's curse to blame. I got too excited. Which was the better choice, accepting that Oyashiro-sama's curse exists, or that Rena and the rest of them were deeply involved in the string of mysterious deaths? I don't know. They fed you a needle. If someone did that to me, I'd be like, maybe you're the perpetrator. I didn't want to think about it. If I just didn't think about it, I'd be able to continue the same as always. I wanted to believe that. Dude, you've known them for like a few weeks to a month. You've known them for like maybe a month. I think. It's been like a month. You need to calm down with your friendship boner. Or is it just a regular boner? It's hard to tell with you. But that was no longer possible. I'd received their message. It was pathetic of me to try and bend the meaning to my own convenience. Regardless of whether my opponent were human or a curse, I won't let it kill me, as if I was just bend over and give in for no good reason at all. There you go, now you're thinking with your noggin. Talk yourself out of it real quick. Keiichi-kun, you've been making a really weird face. Why, I wonder. Inhaling sharply upon hearing Rena's voice, I came back to my senses. Before I'd realized that we were already at the entrance. Shaking my head a few times, I exercised all those terrifying thoughts. No matter how you looked at it, there's no way Rena could have done such terrible things. It was like I was trying to placate myself. Is it placate or placate? Hold on. We'll figure this out.
Placate.
Placate! There we go. Answers answered. It was like I was trying to placate myself. As I slid the door open, a blackboard eraser loaded with chalk dropped down on my head the moment I stepped into the classroom. The chalk dust went into my eyes, inducing a brief moment of agony. Oh ho 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 ho! How befitting for the truant Keiichi-san. Good morning to both of you, Keiichi and Rena. Good morning, Satoko-chan, Rika-chan. Not quite the mood for it. I didn't really react to Satoko's trap. Satoko braced herself as I passed by, expecting me to attack her. She seemed a bit disappointed as I just walked by silently. What is this? How discouraging indeed. Keiichi doesn't seem back to his usual self yet. Yeah, take it easy on him for today, okay? Suddenly there was a slap on my shoulder. It hurt a bit. Hey, Kei-chan, did you get enough rest? It was Mion. Fucking bitch. Fucking bitch. My mind was full with stuff about Rena, but Mion was also a party of interest. Remember, Keiichi. That hawkish gaze from yesterday. Yeah, morning. What's with that unenergetic greeting? Did you eat the mochi I brought you? I'm like this because I ate them. Those words were itching to be blurted out. Should have said it. Should have said it. Should have said it. Should have said it out of 10. I really just didn't have the appetite. I ate a few, but quite a lot were left over. Huh? What about the homework? Do you have an answer for which one was Rena's? Yeah, it was D. Keiichi-kun said he forgot his homework. Ha 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 ha. Sheesh, then we can't help it. Time for your penalty. Yep. Flashing a lurid smile, Mion returned to her seat. There's nothing from our exchanges that would cause our classmates to suspect anything was amiss. But of course... Whoops. Keep doing that. Anyone listening to our conversations up until this morning wouldn't see anything suspicious. You just said that. That was why it was so frightening. They acted in a way that, regardless of whatever happened to Keiichi Maibara, no one would ever suspect them. That fact had me terrified. Soon the teacher came. After she asked how I felt and took attendance, another dull, ordinary day began. teacher is kind of cute. I like the teacher. Alright. We are going on the 30-minute mark now. That's a good stopping point. So I guess that'll be it for today. Feels like we didn't make any progress whatsoever. Feels like we haven't made much progress in a few episodes, though. That's honestly because Keiichi is so dull. Or not dull. That's not the right word. What's the word I'm looking for? He's so fucking stupid. He's a real dense boy. Jesus Christ. It is very, very hard to relate to Keiichi when he... Oh my god. I don't know. Usually when he says something I find dumb, I make a sassy remark, so I'm sure you guys know what I mean by now. Anyway. I want to see what happens next super bad. I want this story to pick up. Tomorrow on Just Dolan. We're going to get back to this, and I'm going to fucking speed read. We're going to speed demon it. Speed demon the shit out of it. We're going to make some headway. I don't care. We're going to make a ton of it. I don't care how hard I have to try. We're going for it. We're doing it. I want to get to some action. I want to get to some meaty, juicy bits. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so... That all being said, I'm going to stop being a weirdo now. I'm going to get going. Have a good rest of your night. I hope you all enjoy, so far, our little Let's Read of Higurashi When They Cry, Ch.1 Onikakushi, Henema Lena Menemen. I will see you next time. Love you. Ciao.